Okay, we're all set.
Okay, thank you. All right, good evening, everybody. I hope everybody is well. We have a small group here tonight. I'm Suzanne Korschetz. I'm going to call the meeting of the Special Education Curriculum Subcommittee to order at 5:33 on September 21st. Erica DePalma is unable to join us today, so she asked me if I'd open up the meeting and then quickly turn it over to Rob Pennington to do all the hard work. So that's what I'm going to do. Because it's just myself on this call, we will table the minutes until our next meeting in October. And I see Sharella's joined, but we'll still do that. So Rob, take us through the agenda.
Sounds good. So the first item on the agenda is really to talk about the table of organization. And so I'm going to share my screen so that we can just quickly take a look at that. Give me 1 second. And just want to make sure everyone can see. Is that correct?
Yep.
Excellent. So this is just a quick draft of the Assistant Superintendent of Schools, different departments. So one of the areas that I oversee is the specialized instruction, and Fatima Susanna Tejada is the educational administrator in that role. So she is on as well. She'll be sharing tonight as well. But then also for school counseling and social services, and that's Jim Martinez. But then also I'm overseeing curriculum professional development, multilingual learners in world language, and SRBI. So I took this as a quick overview, and then I went a little bit closer for everyone just in the realm of our specialized learning team, just so that you can see a little bit more around. And this is a draft. We're going to be publishing a finalized document, but just wanted to kind of give a quick overview. And in the specialized learning realm, we have James Martinez, who oversees counseling and social services, homebound instruction, and 504s. And then we have Fatima Susanna Tejada, who oversees all of our specialized learning supervisors and everything into that realm as well. So I just wanted to be able to provide, because I know that some have been asking, well, who do I go to for what? This kind of just gives a breakdown of the different supervisors and what schools they're supporting, and also who is overseeing who. Okay, so that was something that was asked, and I wanted to make sure that we took time to just look through that. And if there are any questions, now would be a good time to ask, so then we can move on to the next piece.
Hey, Rob, I have a question real quick. First of all, this looks really good, and I think it's going to be super helpful to parents and everybody, and this is really nice. So thanks for doing this. Do we need to add any CC at all on this?
And NECC is it's in another place.
Got it. Thank you.
So, yep, absolutely. Now we're still supporting NECC in terms of specialized instruction, but in terms of supervision, it's in a different place.
Thanks.
That's why it's not here. All right. All right. So our next item on the agenda is Mid-Fairfield Child Guidance. And so we have a great partnership with Mid-Fairfield Child Guidance. They have been supporting our schools with trauma-informed care and the bounce back cognitive behavioral intervention programs in all schools, elementary, middle, and high. And this year, we are moving forward with 2 more programs to support our students. One of them is an intensive outpatient program for children ages 12 to 16. And the purpose or the goal of that is this intensive treatment. And it really allows the student to remain in the community. And it provides services to an individual, a family, multifamily therapy. And it's really going to help some of our students who may need that intensive support. And then the other program that we are going to be adding as another support is the extended day program. And that's for younger students. So we were intentional in targeting the entire realm of our 5 through 16 and really trying to support students, younger students, but also supporting our older students. Now, with the extended day, it's a intensive therapeutic program, and it provides counseling, wraparound clinical services, parent support and training. And I think that the parent support in both of these programs is really a highlight of this program. And I think it's something is one of the reasons why we move forward. And we're still looking to continue to grow and support some other programs that we have, but I wanted to make sure that we took a few minutes to just highlight that we are able to move forward with some of our programs to support our students. And so these are two programs that we're moving forward with, and we'll be able to support our students.
Just a quick question, Rob, for the older high school kids, they're not included in the IOP? This is the 17 to 18-year-olds. Is there a different program for them, or
it just goes up to age 16 at this point. And I can always bring in a guest speaker to help talk about Fairfield Child Guidance as well.
Sure. Hi, I'm happy to. So yeah, so I do some work with Mid Fairfield, so the extended day treatment program has been in existence for quite some time. And one of the things that we have realized more recently in the last couple of years is there's this target population of kiddos, really ages 12 to 16, who need this intensive support. And unfortunately, there are no programs within the community that can really help support them. And so this is the strategic vision right now to work with this target population, but we would love to expand this to 17 and 18-year-olds down the line. Unfortunately, we do have to cohort very specifically age-wise. So this was kind of just the next step. But that's great feedback, and that's definitely something that we can look into.
Yeah. So any questions about, we just wanted to take time to talk because this has been something that I believe conversations started, and we really want to be intentional about supporting our students. And I think that if anyone saw some of the survey data that was given to our middle and high school students that we shared last week, this is part of some of those services to help support our students as well. All
Are
right.
these programs in school? So the child would just stay after school, or are they at a different location?
So actually they're at, we have a main office, 100 East Avenue, which is right across from the Norwalk Inn. So that's where these programs are. And actually, Rob, as we're having this conversation, maybe down the line, I'm just getting a couple texts. It would be good to share with the entire team the variety of services and programs that we offer that are available in the community. And maybe obviously not just Mid Fairfield, but some of the other organizations that are doing a lot of work in schools. It just might be super helpful. But yes, these are provided offsite, but right down the street.
No, and I can tell you, just having the trauma-informed care training for our practitioners in the building was just so great to support the day-to-day operations of a school and then bounce back working with our students. So it's really that we're looking at this continuum of support and services. We're working with teachers, we're working in schools, but then we also wanted to partner to bring in some after school outside support that can really, for students who need more support, it's just like a student who needs academic support, we would provide different levels of service. So we want to make sure that we're doing that for emotional as well.
And
Hey, Rob, I have another question. I'm sorry, Marissa.
No, go ahead.
Is this if students were to use this program, is busing provided from the school to the East Avenue location from every school?
So I think there's some kinks that we still have to look at because of COVID. Historically, with our extended day treatment program, we provided transportation. So we would pick the kiddos up at their respective schools, and then they'd come to program, and then we would bring them home. But due to COVID, there have been a lot of obviously changes and challenges with that. So I know that the busing piece and transportation piece is still an ongoing conversation that we need to figure out a little bit more about. But if we weren't in COVID, yes, that would be provided.
These are really great programs. I had no idea, and I think I said something, but like I can think of so many children that could use this, especially that younger one. So Marissa, I would love to talk to you later more about these.
Absolutely. And I think one of the other great things that is really important is that we're not just supporting the identified child, we're working with the entire family. So yes. Historically, every Friday, again, I'm not sure of the programming because of COVID, but pre-COVID, every Friday was family day. So we would have, whether it be the parents and siblings come and do some type of group activity and share out feelings and talk and really get strategies and supports. So the family level is a huge component of this work. And I think it's a huge kudos to the district for really understanding and recognizing that these supports are needed.
I agree. Yes, that's amazing.
And one of the things that we talked a lot about that was one of the huge points for us is supporting the whole family. We talk about supporting the whole child, but really focusing on the whole family as well. So that was one of the, a key piece in both of these programs is supporting families. So
if someone's interested in these programs, how do they find out? How do they enroll? What would they need to do?
So it's something that our team is going to be working on to support because it's supporting a different number of students in each of the programs. And our team is going to be analyzing to support a student who may need this program, working with the schools and the teams in the building to determine, appropriate placements to support the child.
Okay. So it would be through Norwalk Public Schools.
Correct.
Great. Thank you.
All right. So we're going to move on. I think the next level of conversation was around our website. And we had a lot of conversations around the website. And I'm going to turn over the mic to Fatima Susanna Tejada, our educational administrator for specialized learning.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight, as always. So again, in conversations that we have had in the past, just making sure that we're all working collaboratively and that we all are under the same understanding in terms of who to contact, as you said, Jen, and who to reach out to whenever we have questions. We, again, listened loud and clear in terms of making sure that we were transparent with that information. So we went ahead and started loading the info onto our website, and we continue to update it. But if you go there now, and I don't know if you might want to share the screen and go to the website, Rob. If you go under department and under specialized learning, you will find, right under Meet Our Team, you will find all of our names just as they would appear on that flow chart or organization chart that Rob showed us previously. So you'll find myself there, and then everyone else that would fall under the specialized instruction umbrella, along with their titles. What I am hoping to do by the end of this week is to make sure to have a picture of each person and just a quick blurb as to how many years they've been in the district, what schools they support, and how you can contact them. So that is all being uploaded to our new website. The other part of that was just the programs. I remember in speaking with some administrators and parents, the programs that we offer here in Norwalk Public Schools. They didn't have much information about them. So if you go again under specialized learning, the special education programs, you'll find under each, if you click on that, you'll find all of our programs down below. And if you click on the arrow, you will find a description of each of those and where they're located, the class sizes, the curriculum that is being taught in that level, the program services, so who would provide services under that specific classroom, and then what the description is, so what it entails when you are in that classroom and who would be the best audience to be there. This information is also in Spanish, and Haitian Creole will be uploaded by the end of this week. So any parent that has questions or doesn't understand in terms of like if we have a recommendation or if a teacher recommends a specific, if the team decides maybe this program is the ideal environment for our student, you can go into this specific page and hit on the drop arrow, and you will be able to read more about the program and the description. Let's see, what else did we put on here? So if we go back, other things, yep. So another huge part of this was also just updating the program names. So if you take a look at them, some of them are not as appropriate as I think we would want them to be, specifically for our population of students. So we are looking into changing some of these names. So within the next few months, they might change. And when they do, we will make sure that we also just send everyone notice and make sure that we have what the program name was previously versus what it is now. So you can see how it's changed. But some of these we don't necessarily want to keep because they don't highlight us in the best possible way, I feel. So we're going to look into changing that. And your input would also be much appreciated for this. Yep. Yes, I don't know if you have any questions about.
I don't have any questions, but that's phenomenal. Thank you so much for getting that up there.
I was
just going to say the same thing, Fatima.
So was I.
Amazing. I think it's going to be so helpful to parents, administrators, teachers. You know, I think it's great. Thank you for doing that.
Yep,
Absolutely.
completely agree.
No, I agree. Kudos. I think it starts, right, that whole idea that communication is so important, that when people want to find things on their own, at least they have a place to go, and then they have people to contact for further questions. I think this is such a vast improvement for families, and kudos to you and all the work that you've done to make it happen.
Thank you. Couldn't have done it without you guys, though. I need that input.
Are all of the SPED teachers and admin aware of this that you have done so that they could let their parents know about it too?
They should be aware of it, but certainly we do have communication with the building admin and the teachers that we don't want to inundate them. So Tuesdays and Thursdays are our days to sort of send out a whole departmental information. So this is something that, thanks for reminding me, we will put up there again, but they should know that it is up there already. Yes.
That's great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Sure, you're welcome. So if you go over to the next slide, please.
So we're going to transition. That was our second bullet point. And now our last one is really talking about some of the recommendations from SPED pack. And so
again, when we were in conversations during our meetings, a lot of the feedback was also parents just being able to understand the intricacies of the conversations that were occurring at the meetings. So we've partnered with Language Line to help individuals, parents, teachers with the different languages. And there are about, how many, was it like 12 or 15 languages, Rob? I believe that we can get translation for. They could either be done over the phone, or if we need someone to come physically to us, they can also do that. We are translating documents using the language line as well. So they will translate meetings and the actual physical forms for our students, if need be, and families. So another thing that's going to go up on our website, again, just to make sure that folks understand who to contact and where to go with questions, is the letter of referral when there's a concern. And I believe that was something that was also shared back during our school opening meeting. It's basically you're going to contact your teacher, you're going to contact your building administrator. The building administrator, if they need further instruction or support, would contact the SPED supervisor. The SPED supervisor would, again, engage with the building administrator to try to figure out what the concern or challenge is. If they can't figure it out at that level, then at that point, we here at central office would also get involved if need be. We are also, again, this whole letter of referral and everything that's also on that website, we're communicating to the principals regarding just, again, reminding them that it's a bit of a change, but we're always here to support. Again, something that we heard loud and clear was when staff has to go on extended leave, they have to communicate with us so that we can quickly communicate with HR and start the process of being able to find someone to cover that specific teacher for the amount of time that he or she will not be with us. So that's something that we've also really pushed hard on and sort of streamlined so that we don't have much lapse of educators, specifically because of the times that we're living in now with the shortages. We've also sent out the.
Can I add to that?
Absolutely.
The other thing that Fatima did, which I think is great, is just in terms of communicating with families, letting principals know that if there is an extended leave, that we communicate that to our families so that they know that this is occurring. And she's even like build out, just some supports for them in doing that, but just that's an expectation. So I think that is one of the things from the SPED PAC report really was this, that there are people that have been out and a parent didn't know. And so she really wanted to make sure that she highlighted that component with our principals so that level of communication is there so that parents know, because there are some times when things happen, and I think that it's just a level of transparency. So I wanted to make sure that we highlighted that.
That's right. Thank you for reminding me. So the next thing that I just wanted to, again, know and understand and be able to then provide better professional development for our staff and just information sessions for you all are those parent surveys. So I sent out we sent out the parent surveys just to get a feel of how you thought that the meetings were going, how prepared we were, how satisfied you were, basically overall. And I'm happy to report that out of most of those, 92% from the Spanish participants were satisfied with the outcome of the meeting. They received their agendas 85% of the time on or before the meeting, and 92% received invites. And we had 41 participants who were Spanish speaking. Out of the English survey, we had 163 participants. So thank you very much. Again, most of the participants, 89%, were satisfied with the outcome of the meeting and also felt heard and supported by our team members and just felt part of the team altogether when they came to said meetings. So I applaud you and thank you very, very much for participating on the survey. I'm sure that you've gotten a number before, but this is really giving me great feedback, and I can also then bring it back to my staff and see how we could have these numbers go even higher and see how best we can support the families to feel even more heard and understand just the process in general. with that said, the agendas was also a big part of the conversation, that some people didn't get them or didn't know what the agenda was when they came to the meeting. So with that feedback, what I did was, again, shared with all of the building administration and staff, just basically packets of what agendas should look like for each one of those meetings that I specified and identified on the surveys. So I'm hoping that as you are all going to said meetings, that you find that it sort of flows better. More information is getting to you before the meeting, and it clearer as well, so that you can understand what you're all discussing and what other questions might come up as you're working through it. So at this point, I don't know if you guys have any questions about anything else that you might want to discuss.
I just had a question about that language line that we're going to be using, and I think it's wonderful. I'm super excited that we're going to be able to utilize this for our families, and that's a lot of languages, which I hope we got them all covered. My question is though, is this something that each caseworker will have access to, or is it something that it's only done at the district level, that the parents will have to wait for the turnaround, or how does that work exactly?
So do you mean if you are sitting in at a meeting and you need translation? So will we be able to access folks immediately?
I think I mean, like, so for the documents, like if it's an IEP, does the case manager, when the English version is finished, does she just input it, or he or she just input it and spits out a different language? Or is it like a process that's going to take, like emailing it to someone downtown, and then they have a list of, different IEPs they have to do also, that it might take longer?
No, so it actually, there's a, if I remember correctly, and I'm sorry, I did not have it in front of me, it's a 3 to 6 day turnaround to translate the document, depending on how large the document is.
Wow, that's
so it
great.
is a pretty quick turnaround. Yes,
Yeah.
I can get you the specifics and email it to you, John, if you'd like, so you know exactly what that looks like.
Go ahead, sorry, Rob.
I was just going to say the other thing that Fatima did, which I thought was really great, is she shared that with the schools, so that it's not like having to come to central office and then there's like a middleman and a delay. We really wanted to empower the schools to be able to use this service as they need. And that really was important to us, because if they have a PPT and they need a translator, a skilled translator to join, they can call in advance, and maybe a person can come in, or if they can't get someone to come in, we can have someone join virtually. So it really was about empowering the teams. This is a priority for us, and I think that came out of the SPED PAC report, is that we have many languages, and yet that was an area of need for us. So that is something that we really wanted to target and focus on as we go through this year.
I think it's amazing. And Robin, Fatima, this is like, I think it's going to be a game changer for a lot of our families. Good. And they're going to feel more included in the PPT team process while they're going through it. And I'm really excited. So thank you for doing the research and finding this. And I love it that you're empowering the schools too, the team, to do their part also. So this is great. Thank you.
I had a quick question too. That's okay. Wait, Rob, you're going to speak? Sorry.
Go ahead.
At one point you mentioned that families were being notified, or like admins were told to communicate with families if a teacher was on a leave, a special ed teacher. But I know, like, not only in Norwalk, in lots of districts, they have the problem right now with, whether it's OT, PT, speech, and there's shortage areas. Are admins notifying parents as well if, they don't have a SPED teacher that's not on a leave but hasn't been hired, or occupational therapists, physical therapists? So they're being notified.
They are being notified. So I specifically, as Rob mentioned, I had sent out communication to the building staff to make sure that we are communicating with the parents of the person, whoever it is, PTOT, speech, special educator, if we were not able to hire them at that moment, so that they're abreast of the situation. So yes, parents are being communicated that.
Sherelle, I can see, Sherelle, did you have a question? I can see your lips, but you're on mute. I want to be sure everybody gets your question.
I didn't have a question.
Oh,
I was
I'm
just
sorry.
dictating. No. I was dictating into my phone what was
Oh.
being said instead of typing. I was dictating. But thank you, Suzanne. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
That was our agenda for this month, and we were able to, I think, keep it moving. And if there aren't any other questions, I mean, we'll continue to build out some of these systems. It is, we really are working to support schools and to build out their teams and to support them as they're doing this important work. And as we have more things happening, we will have other discussions. But really one of the pieces that I know was a huge priority for Fatima and myself is just building out that website as a hub for families. And because over and over and over, both of us heard that we have great programs, but nobody knows anything about them. And that shouldn't be the case, because it's a huge strength of Norwalk. And so that's something that we are really trying to highlight as a district.
So if I can make one comment, I don't have any questions, but I think what you're doing is great. When I arrived in Norwalk as a children's librarian, I would hear a lot of parents just really frustrated, particularly the the SPED community, like extremely frustrated. So I really appreciate the fidelity and really the sincerity that you're paying to this. I mean, it means a lot. If I can speak for the many parents that I've worked with, it would mean a lot. So thank you. And I'm not sure if they're all, even in the system anymore, but I just know it was a huge issue with the communication, or just them not feeling heard or feeling ostracized. And so just thank you.
Absolutely. We want to just make sure that, again, we're working collaboratively, because the more we work together, the better it is for our students and families. So whatever we can do and whatever we're going to continue to do to make sure that everyone sort of feels heard and welcomed and successful.
So if there aren't any more questions, I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next month.
Thank you, everyone.